Howdy y'all, it's April the 7th and we're planting corn. We've had a few days here where it's been nice and dry. We're in another one of those situations where we're kind of fighting the rain. It's like a 90% chance of rain tonight. Anyway, I've been spreading fertilizer the last few days. Dad got started on planting corn yesterday and we're going to continue that today. Dragon. All right, we're ready to go. This is a Kelly Diamond Disc Harrow that we're pulling, and as you can see, it's in the shape of a diamond, hence the name. The purpose of this tool is to basically do minimum tillage at a decent speed. So you can see we're going about 7.5, 8 miles an hour. That's kind of where they tell you to run this thing, and it may look like we're doing a bunch of tillage, but really, we're only turning over maybe the top inch or two, if that. So it's really good for seed bed prep and really just leveling off the field. And I mean, really making a very nice end result. This is a 30-foot implement. They make them up to, I believe, 60 foot. You can get them either 30, 40, and I think 60, something like that. I think that's as far as they go. It's a very interesting tool. If you notice, there's not really much to it. It's a pretty basic tool. In fact, it's so basic that you can't even pick it up. There are no lift cylinders on the actual wheels or anything like that, so there is no lift. This tool stays on the ground from the time that you fold it out. So when you're turning, you're also discing. So it's different than anything else that we've pulled.
We gotta change the circuit board. Well, I'm for it.
Dad's working on a 120-acre field. He's about to get it done, actually. And not sure if we're going to keep doing any more or not. Like I said, rain's supposed to be coming tonight. Apparently they're talking like 1.5 inches or something like that. So, I don't know, he may finish the field he's at and he may quit planting. The disc system that this Kelly uses, they call it a disc chain. So basically what you're seeing there is one big chain of disc blades. Dad got done with that first 120-acre field, and now he's working on this 120-acre field, so we're going to get quite a bit planted, hopefully. Alright, we are done with the Kelly for today. Right now I got to go get the nurse tank, fill it up with liquid for Daddy, and then I may get to take over planting, so I get some planting time. Liquid nitrogen, it's what we're using as a starter fertilizer. Putting, I believe, 10 gallon of nitrogen to the acre. she's full. So we'll go take this to him and get him some more liquid. Look at that. Liner marks. Ain't it a beautiful sight? Like I said, rain's coming, so today's probably all we got. This is a 120 acre field right here, so if we can get this one done, we'll have about 240 acres planted. So that'd be a pretty good start. Well, rain ended up showing up a little quicker than I think anybody was really hoping. It rained for about 5 or 10 minutes and has kind of put a damper on things, so yeah, it's done quit now, but the sun's trying to pop out. We're gonna give it a little bit of time and we'll try to go back at it. See, now obviously it's not fun to do anything in the rain, but the problem with planting in the rain is that you get mud sticking to your gauge wheels there. And what happens is that can affect the depth of your seed. And you can get inaccurate placement of the seed, which eventually would lead to yield loss and all that kind of stuff, and uneven plant growth. And, well, the sun has come out, and it's been about an hour since we quit, which as long as the sun's out, it should dry. It should dry it just enough to where we might be able to go back here in a little bit. I think we're gonna let it sit a little bit while longer. So this is a Kinze 3660 planter. It is a pivot fold planter, and I'll show you what that means sometime or another whenever we get to fold up. This planter is run, actually in its second year, it is run off of precision planting. So we have precision planting meters, they call them a V meter. We're also using the downforce DeltaForce, which is a hydraulic downforce. The purpose of the downforce is to keep the row units in contact with the ground and to also put enough force on the row unit itself, or to even lift up on the row unit to make sure that we get an accurate seed placement at the right depth that we are looking for. This is an electric drive meter. So, and honestly, pretty much this entire planter is pretty much run off of electrical stuff, other than the fans and the downforce, which is run off of hydraulics. And also our liquid pump is actually a ground drive pump. I mentioned earlier that there were hydraulics that were running our fans. The reason for the fans is actually because of this hose right here, which goes to this meter. This meter is a vacuum meter, meaning that this hose right here is actually sucking air. And when the seeds come through this tube right here that are connected to the bulk tank, when the seeds come through this hose into this meter, the seeds will actually be sucked into the seed plate. Yes, there's a seed plate in here, and it is actually pointed vertically, so it's not like the seeds could just fall on it. So we rely on this tube right here, which is sucking air, which is pulling the seeds to this plate, which is then dropping the seeds down a seed tube that is located inside this piece right here. Now the purpose of that seed plate is to correctly space out each seed as it's being placed into the ground. Without that seed plate, you'd basically be putting seeds right up against each other and just place them all over the place. We also use the great Martin-Till row cleaners that is actually based in the county that I'm from. Believe it or not, the factory is just right down the road from here. Anyway, the purpose of those row cleaners is to basically clear the way of any crazy objects such as dirt, rocks, logs, you name it. Basically, it just clears the way for the row unit so we can get a good seed placement. In case you were wondering, one thing we like to do with corn is we like to split plant, meaning that we plant 2 different hybrids of corn at the same time. So that hopper has one hybrid of corn, and that hopper has another hybrid of corn. The 2 hybrids that we're planting, the companies are Brevant and Cropland. Now, in the case of these two hybrids, we've actually got two different color seeds. So this hybrid, as you can see, maybe you can see it, we got pink and a little bit of purple seeds. However, on this side over here, we've actually got green and purple seeds. In case you're wondering why they are green and pink and not yellow like normal corn, all it is just a powdered coating. They call it seed treatment, and it's just used to really protect the seed against insects and other varmints that might try to eat the seed when it goes in the ground. And no, that does not mean that when we harvest this corn in the fall, that doesn't mean we're going to have green kernels of corn in the back of our grain bin. Well, we're back at it now after about a 2-hour delay. We got about 45 acres remaining. Probably going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours to do. Rain's definitely coming, you can see it on the radar, but and it looks like a lot. There's one thing I hate about running at night. It's all the bugs. As soon as you open that door, they just swarm in here. Got about 15 acres left to go in this field, and the rain is basically upon us. Honestly, it may start raining as soon as I get done with this field, but we'll see how much it rains. We're probably going to be done this week. It's supposed to rain Saturday too, so looking like it'll be next week before we can do any more planting. But as of right now, we got 240 acres done in 2 days, so I'd say that's a pretty dang good start. That little blank spot there, that's all we got left. Probably 4 more swipes, and then we're gonna fold up and call it a dadgummit. I got blockage. So basically what you saw there is my monitor here, the 2020 monitor, was telling me that one of the row units, number 9 to be exact, wasn't putting out seed. And how it reads that, there's a sensor in the seed tube that is monitoring the flow of seed coming out the seed tube. And that information translates to this monitor, and it makes these little green bars, as you can see. So when that sensor isn't detecting seed coming from that seed tube, then it tells it starts screaming at me, telling me that we're not planting anything. That row unit's not planting anything. Last pass, and the rain is pretty much almost here. Yeah, by the looks of that, we're probably gonna be done for a little while, if I had to guess. And we are done. All right, that's it. Fold up, go shop, and I'm going to the house. And as you can see, we have ourselves a nice painted map. Ignore the blank spot. That's actually going to be a tobacco patch, so that's why it's blank. Alright, so I mentioned that this planter was a pivot fold style planter, and here's what I mean by that. Gonna do it for us today, and probably for the rest of the week. We'll watch it rain the next few days, and we will get back at it probably next week. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, the 4 of you that did, and we will see you all later.